Hello, Pisces. Welcome back. So, I've been using the Kipper deck lately a lot, and I wanted to actually do a spread. I wanted to actually do the spread that's in the back of the Kipper deck booklet because I always say, like, oh, I don't do the regular spreads, right? Because I never really do regular tarot spreads. I never really have. But I thought it would be interesting to do the spread that's in the back of the Kipper booklet to see what you need to know about basically whether or not you're on the right path, right? Like, I want to ask about maybe a dilemma that you have or a decision that you're trying to make because, child, I know me personally, the past few weeks, days and weeks and months, I have decision fatigue, okay, from all of the choices that I've been presented with and different things that I'm contemplating, like, should I do this? Should I not do this? Like, what's the right choice? Am I on the right path? Am I making the right decision? So ultimately, in order to find out if you're on the right path, I want to ask, by using this spread, whether or not the decision that you're going to make or thinking about making is the right decision, right? Because you may want to do something and you may be contemplating it. You may even be talking yourself out of it. You could just be unsure. So basically we're going to figure out, I'm trying to position the question properly, but I don't know how it's going to go. So we're just going to try. We're just going to do our best and figure out what we can figure out by asking maybe what's the right decision to make. Okay. So, as you know, the Kipper does have a lot of reading. So, we're going to be doing a reading that could consist of a lot of reading. And I know the last few readings were pretty long, but I'm going to try my best to consolidate this as much as possible. But just in case you don't like me reading, which I don't know why you're watching, because I do read a lot from the booklets. But if you don't like that, this may not be the reading for you. But there are thousands, honey boo boo child, of readings on this channel that you could choose from. And we're going to go ahead and get into it, okay? Just do me a favor, you guys, Pisces. I want us to get in the habit of giving and receiving. And I say that because, you know, even if it's corny, that's truth, right? So like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Get in with the Pisces gang because the Pisces gang over here is top tier, okay? The ones who know what's up and who been here rocking, top tier, baby. All right. And then also, if you got a hype, put a hype on the video. But I want to, especially because of the reading that we just had recently, it's definitely becoming apparent to me, and I can see this in my own life, where sometimes we as Pisces struggle to receive. Like, I know for me personally, I find it difficult to receive compliments or praise because it's like that's what I would like, because if I work hard, I'd like to be recognized for my hard work. But then, it's 3:33. It's Sunday, June 21st, which is a 3 at 3:33. I know that's right. Synchronicity, bitch. But sometimes I struggle with like hearing compliments or receiving praise, even if that's what I may strive to achieve. Well, I'm not really striving to achieve it. I'm striving to do a good job in my life and be happy with what I do. But it doesn't hurt to receive the recognition you deserve and get your flowers. So it's like we constantly ask for that, but then sometimes we struggle with, accepting it. Right? So that's why I'm talking about like giving and receiving here, because the more you guys interact with the videos, the more they can be recommended to other Pisces who may need to hear them, because I pray specifically for the people who need to hear the readings, whether they're subscribers or not, to be able to hear the readings and to reach as many people as possible if it's something that's going to help them, because I ask for spirit to ensure that the readings are helpful and that no harm comes from the messages that I deliver, right? So if you are someone who's watching and you interact with the content and it helps push it through the algorithm, either through a subscription to the channel, a like, or a comment, you're not only going to help like other people receive by giving that support, but you're helping me to receive what I deserve for the hard work that I put in. And you're also creating a dynamic energetically where you're opening yourself up, because if you open yourself up to give and you're like, hey, yeah, of course, that's something that I support. Let me hit subscribe. Let me like the video. Let me leave a little comment here about what's going on in the reading or whatever I feel I want to share. By you doing that, you're energetically opening yourself up to receiving that same type of energy back. So that's why I say what I say, right? And I know we joke and we play over here, but it's very important if we want to create the life that we've dreamed of and that we strive to achieve. There are certain things that have to be understood. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, child. So let's see, what is the right decision to make, Spirit, when it comes to Pisces' current dilemmas, questions, decisions? What is the right decision for Pisces to make at this time? Now, I'm going to be looking at the book, child, because I don't be doing spreads. Look, this is how it's going to look. Ooh. Diamonds. Excuse me. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. All right. So, let's see. So the first card is at the bottom. It's the starting situation. So what is the right decision for Pisces to make, Spirit? What is the right decision for Pisces to make? Okay, we have community. The second card is this is a fact. Oh, wow. Okay, thoughts. The third card is this is an illusion. Oh, wow. We got that in another reading. Oh, my God. Okay, the fourth card is the opportunities that you have. Ooh. Ooh. Trying to make sure we have space. The fifth card is what you should forget. Wow. What the fuck, y'all? Okay. The sixth card is this is helpful now. Okay, interesting. All right. The seventh card is this is not helpful now. Ooh, bitch. And the eighth card is the final result. Whoa, bitch. What? I know this is probably going to be crooked. It is what it is. I need to realign this. Oh. Okay. So what's the right decision to make? Now, what I will say, okay, and at the bottom, we got despair. What the fuck? All right. So a theme that I'm noticing is basically like living situations, right? Community, house, poverty. This could be finances. This could be also business deals with the marriage card. The pathway, though, is interesting because the pathway is in the third spot, which is this is an illusion. So it could either be that the time you think something is going to take, you may feel like whatever decision you have to make is going to take a long time. Like you're contemplating what to do. And the reason why you may be struggling to decide what to do is because you're feeling like what you want to do may take a long time, but the pathway card is an illusion, so it may not take as long as you believe it may take. And that's congruent with one of the readings that we just recently did where the pathway card came out, along with the family room and the distant horizons, where I was kind of like, well, what are we talking about? Because pathway and distant horizons is more of a long period of time, while the family room card was indicative of a shorter period of time. So you may be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this because it may take a long time. But in reality, the time that you believe something will take is actually an illusion. The starting situation is the community, which is like possibly you trying to work together with people. It kind of reminds me of like a Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles energy, where even if it's like your personal life or career, there's maybe a question of whether you should work with other people or whether you should involve other people in something. That could be an aspect of the decision that you're trying to make, is like, should you involve other people? And if so, who should be involved? This is a fact. So the thoughts card is the fact. And it feels like, so for sure, there's unfinished business, or there could be a block in creativity. You know, it feels like I'm not going to say you're making a mountain out of a molehill, because to me, what it looks like is that the way something is being presented to you, or the way you're perceiving it being presented to you, is a mountain, like a huge obstacle or a huge task, a gigantic feat that you have to invest your time into. So there could be some type of like creative blockage, because you may be at the bottom of the mountain trying to climb up. You could be in the middle of climbing up the mountain and you're halfway there, but you're like, oh my God, I have so much fucking more to go and I'm tired. Right? You could feel like maybe you're close to the top, but what you're starting to see at the top of the mountain is like, I don't know if I done did all this work. I don't know if I really align with what's at the top of this mountain, because it ain't what I thought. So it could be a plethora of different things that may be causing like a creative blockage, or not really knowing where to go next, how to do something. And then you have card number 4, which is the opportunities that you have. And that's the main female. And it's like, maybe the opportunity could be like, if you make a certain decision, you could be like, I want to say main character energy, but that's not, it kind of sounds egotistical when I say it like that. So it feels more like the opportunity that you have, or the chances that you have, it's kind of to be a focal point of whatever it is that you're contemplating doing, right? So say, for example, you want to cultivate a business. You could be a decision maker in that particular field, or you could be like a pivotal force, like somebody who people go to as the knowledge base of that line of business, or the person who is the most experienced, right? You could be that person who's kind of like the icon, right? And then in the 5th position, you have what you should forget. So this could literally be marriage, but I feel like Spirit, it's like kind of talking about a time frame with that. For some reason, I'm getting a time frame, because if pathway is an illusion and marriage is what you should forget, or what you shouldn't kind of like rely on or depend on, an unreachable goal, they say, it feels like literally, you know, marriage could be speaking literally like a partner, or the type of relationship that you want, but it could also be a time frame as well, because it's like maybe they're saying like you should forget about putting time constraints on this, because it's not really helping you to think about how long something is taking or how quickly you need to do something. It's more important just to focus on the goal and accomplishing like benchmarks as you go, right? It's more important to write your to-do list and do what you need to do and continue to move forward, instead of focusing on, oh my God, it's taking me so long. I want this to be done by probably like June. I thought I was going to be here by June or July, or I thought this was going to be finished by this time. It's not really important for you to like focus on that, because I feel like it creates more of a hindrance than a benefit. This could also be because the despair card is at the bottom. Like marriage could be a contract as well. So it's like you should forget, or not really focus on, or not rely on the fact that you need someone else, or you need to partner up with somebody. Because I think your question is about like, I don't know what your question is about. We're going to look more into it. But the current situation has to do with the community and then like other people. And I feel like the opportunity is for you to be independent, because community has multiple people. Marriage has 2 people. The despair card is by themselves because they feel kind of ostracized or pushed out, or unincluded from a group, right? And it's causing a conflict because you're feeling possibly like you're alone. But you have the dog here on the card, which signifies to me loyalty, maybe, which is a quality that you possess. It also signifies like a familiar type of energy, right? Like the witches in TV shows and movies, they have a familiar. So you may have a pet or a loyal friend, maybe someone who's been there for you and supported you, but you know, I don't know, because you could be loyal or you could be looking for loyalty, and either spirit is saying like open your eyes because you have some type of loyal support. I know, I appreciate y'all, I love y'all, my stanky poos. And or this could be like, you know, on the Fool card, you know how the Fool has the dog with him, right? It, you know, it feels like having more fun too, like on your own, instead of like looking for other people to bring enjoyment to a situation. Like spirit wants you to find enjoyment in a situation on your own without like depending on other people, right? Because here being alone looks like an issue, a big issue. It's creating a conflict. Okay. And here it's kind of like you're on your own and it's positive. And if you pay attention, 32 is the despair card. What you should forget is a number 3, and your opportunity is a number 2. That's 32. That's 32. So if they're telling you like, hey, this group situation or this, you know, partnership or community situation that you may be contemplating whether or not you should stay in it, whether you should even enter into it at all, why you're not being included in it, do you need people to help you? All of those questions that you could possibly be contemplating in your mind are creating this like obstacle or conflict when it comes to you actually carrying something out and pursuing your goal. When it comes to the decisions you make, this could even be you considering others when making decisions for yourself, when in reality, you should just make decisions for yourself and not necessarily worry about like how other people will be affected, which is also a theme that we've talked about. Now, in the 6th position, which is what's helpful right now, what you should do to reach your goal or to accomplish the best possible result is the House. So it kind of feels like with this House card, it sometimes talks about, I think we're going to read it, but it feels like a privacy, like a safety and security, a privacy situation. So what's helpful right now is for you to kind of, you know, protect yourself and, you know, have your boundaries, make sure that people understand what your boundaries are. Your goal that you may be striving for is a home, because right now it's like maybe you're trying to figure out what to do about your community, your neighbors. Child, I just posted a video on TikTok last night, 3:42 p.m. And these two folks that was in their truck, baby, Mercury retrograde hit their ass hard, playing Tyrese Stay. And that's all I'm going to say. If you know Tyrese song Stay, and then wailing it at the top of their fucking lungs, bro. At the top of their lungs. If you want to see that video, click on my link to the LINKTREE and go to my TikTok. You'll see it. Okay. Interesting too, this House card is a 20. And even now you can hear this man outside making all this noise. You see what I'm saying? So this could be like, hey, I want to buy a house, right? That's what you should strive for. That's what's, you know, helpful to you now, is to envision, you know, what it is that you strive for. Maybe it's, you know, a better community for your children to grow up in, you know, things like that. Also, I feel like with this particular marriage card, maybe there's a marriage or a relationship that spirit wants you to forget, or maybe a contract, a job that you used to have that you don't have anymore, opportunities that you feel like you had before that you don't have anymore. And it's not so much, it's like maybe you're thinking about how your circumstances changed because this opportunity maybe no longer exists, or this marriage has dissolved, or you went through this divorce, or you broke up with someone. Maybe you lost your job because the despair card is here, but it's like, it's not important to think about what you had before or what you wish was different now, because whatever allowed you to have this this, whatever this is over here, is not about the opportunity, or it's not about the other person. It's about you. And that's where the opportunity lies, not within the situation, but within you as an individual. I'm also getting that as well. Okay. Also, there's some type of intrigue, or like, I feel like there's this level of professionalism, maybe professionalism, but it could just be like, it doesn't have to be that. What am I trying to say? With the house card and the main female, there's this level of like, intrigue. I'm getting intrigue, like mystery, suspense that spirit wants you to have when it comes to what it is that you do. It's like, maybe that's being excited about what's to come and the fact that you don't know, but it's kind of like an adventure like we talked about. Or like making sure that you don't, making sure that you don't give away the whole cow, or give away the milk before somebody buys the cow. Bitch. Okay. Now, in position number 7, this is not helpful now. This is a card that describes what you should avoid. It might be obstructive in your situation and what does not serve you. So if any of you are gambling, Mega Millions, scratch offs, the casino, that's not helping you right now. Also, imagining that there's going to be some type of sudden wealth, or relying on it, doesn't mean the sudden wealth is not there. Oh my God, I'm going to have to close the window. Have mercy, Jesus. I definitely enjoy where I live for the location of where I live, but not for the fucking people that are around being loud and obnoxious all the fucking time. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I've never been in a neighborhood where everybody's just so fucking loud all the time. And it's just like random noises, random weird ass shit. Anyway, waiting for like a windfall is not great, right? It doesn't mean that you can't say, oh, it's possible, right? Like a windfall, or getting some type of money that you don't have to pay back, winning something, having some type of, surprise, lucky, getting lucky in a situation. It's not bad, but it's not what you should base your actions on. That's what Spirit is saying. It's like, you can get lucky, but luck is not just something that happens to you. It's a combination of preparation, proper planning, being in the right place at the right time, and taking the steps that you need to take. So it's like, yeah, you can get lucky, but that shouldn't be what you're sitting here waiting on. You should be going out and doing whatever you feel like you need to do, again, to mark things off your to-do list, to get things done. Now, the final result is poverty, but I don't think it's saying like poverty in a negative way, unless you're focused too much on this side, because this is kind of like the side that you may want to push out of your mind when it comes to certain things. And this is the side that I feel like is more important for you to, like, this is an illusion, this is reality. That's how it feels to me. If you go down this path to the left, you're going to get to the final result of 37, which is a 10, coming to the end of some type of poverty cycle, possibly. But if you go this way, you may find yourself repeating a cycle of poverty. That's what I feel. We're going to go ahead and get into it. My God. So the starting situation, this is where you're starting. This is where you're standing now, your current situation, and also the hopes and fears that are associated with this question. So what decision should you make? So your hopes and fears associated with this question, where you're standing now, your current situation. Okay. And that's community. What decision you should make. So this is an enabling and positive card. Here we meet the cheerful and stoic working class, the gardener, the flower girl of Covent Garden, the errand boy from the local pub, the servants who all come together in support. This card's literal meaning is friends and community. Wow. Okay. This card's literal meaning is friends and community. More abstractly, it's about support, being understood. Okay. And finding the place where you belong. Since your community is always there for you, the timing of this card is ongoing. So if you're trying to decide about friends, community, family, maybe where you live, things like that. Can you trust people? Things like that. Should you open up to people? Should you try to meet new people? I feel like, yeah, that's something that you should continuously do, because it's like you may subconsciously strive for that support. You want to be understood. You want to have friends. You want to be a part of a community. Feel included in something that you're doing. Okay. Now, the card describes all people with whom you feel a connection: family, relatives, friends, and any like-minded persons. It may also describe groups, unions, and associations. In questions about partnership matters, it describes a harmonious relationship. In professional terms, it stands for good teamwork and positive working atmospheres. This card indicates having good people around you, family and true friends, loyalty, cooperation, group efforts, helping each other when needed, etc. The original Kipper dealt principally with the domestic aspects of people's lives, portrayed from their homes and living rooms. However, as I have outlined in the introduction, this domestic perspective was the privilege of the wealthier classes. For the vast majority, social interaction would have been beyond the cramped conditions of wherever they lived. Their places of work, taverns, and street corners would have been where they shared their daily lives. Many came from different backgrounds, so this new neighborhood would have proved both a support and a challenge that defines their new lives. So you may feel like, friends, family, community, your neighborhood where you live, your neighbors could be positive, like I said, for me, and also create a challenge, right? I love the place that I live. It's deeply, well, not deeply, but it's pretty deep in the forest. I'm surrounded by trees. And even though there are buildings in the back of me and in front of me, the neighborhood is full of trees, like super old trees, big trees that are leaning to the side, like all that type of stuff. There's a lake over here. It's really beautiful, right? It's a really quiet and positive neighborhood. And the people who live in the neighborhood, in the houses around the apartments that I live in, they're very progressive. People will maybe describe them as blue-haired people. In politics, when people say the blue-haired leftists, that's kind of who I live around. I live around the eclectic, I got a bunch of shit in my yard. People have art projects in their yard made from old glass bottles and trash and repurposed items and recycled things. And, it's crazy, but it's cute. It's my type of neighborhood. However, the people in my immediate vicinity are irritating as fuck. Right? So it's dang, this could also be a situation where you want to feel included, but you may be feeling unincluded with that despair card. So let's look at the 32 for despair. And it says, this is a challenging card. Okay? Here we meet a man in shabby clothes, a member of the working poor, distraught from unemployment, reduced to letting a tear slip in the street. Literally grieving or weeping. It can also be severe stress, leading to emotional exhaustion, serious concussions. Oh, so okay. It can also be severe stress leading to emotional exhaustion, serious concussions, fevers, and migraines. This card is also commonly used for jealousy. With luck, a positive card will be next to it to offer balance and hope that all will work out somehow. Unfortunately, this is not a very promising card unless surrounding cards mitigate it. And then you have the coffin here, which is not necessarily bad, but anyway. You may be tortured by worries and stress. Despair either describes a relationship that is characterized by trouble, or you suffer from a heavy workload or fear of job loss. This card always warns not to expect too much of ourselves and others. Okay. Despair brings grief, adversity, and obstacles. This is a card of brooding and worrying, frustration, headaches, fever, jealousy, or anger. But things will work out if positive cards are close. So I feel like the community card is positive. I feel like you're trying to figure out what to do. I feel like you're trying to figure out what to do about your personal situation, and the decision that you need to make, or that spirit is suggesting you make, because I can't tell you what to do because I ain't your mama. Okay. But the decision that spirit is suggesting that you make is one that gets you involved or connected with other like-minded people, something that gets you out the house, into the community, spend more time with family who you feel like you can trust. If you don't have family, because some of y'all be like, well, I don't have nobody. Well, that's the point of the reading. It's telling you to get your motherfucking ass out the bed, take a shower, wash your ass, put some drawers on, put a bra on if necessary. Get yourself together, comb your hair, and take your ass outside and immerse yourself in your community. Because whatever close, cramped quarters that you're in is stressing you the fuck out. Okay? Whatever your situation is also stressing you out. Okay? And in order to know what decision to make, you may need to go outside. Okay? I'm just saying. Now, the second card, which is thoughts, it says this is a fact. The real situation, the unpleasant facts you probably don't like. Okay? So let's look at, why did I go all the way to, I went all the way past that. So I went to main female. Look, you're trying to avoid the facts of a situation by moving forward to an opportunity. It's like, that could be you trying to avoid it, but it also could be you trying to be positive when a lot going on around you is negative. So I'm not going to press y'all too hard, but I did try to go to the next card and avoid this. So, okay. The real situation when it comes to the decision that you need to make. So 16 is thoughts. This card represents the thoughts of a man the questioner is interested in. Interesting. His thoughts are positive when not touching cards 8, 14, 23, 24, 29, and 30. And we know those are false person, message of concern. I believe one of them is courthouse, theft, adjudication, and something else, I think. But this card can also mean making plans. Okay, the fact is that you need to make a plan. This card is perhaps Kipper's great gift. At last, a card directly addressing thoughts and matters of the mind. Okay, this card is generally positive. Here we meet the artist in his studio, adrift in his vision and struggling to realize his perfect portrait of a lady. While traditionally called his thoughts, it may also represent the sitter's own concerns, preoccupations, and obsessions. Okay, read the cards around this one to learn all the thoughts. The card above will generally be the main preoccupation, okay, which is the house, while the one below may be what is being avoided. So I guess that would be community, since it was number 1 and this is number 2. In accordance to the question. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so this may change my observation. Okay. Now, when surrounded by challenging cards, thoughts may reveal things you didn't want to know. More abstractly, it can also describe a thoughtful person when next to the significator or another character card. Okay. So thoughtful person could be the main female. That could be you. That could be someone who you're thinking about. If you're a masculine and you're thinking about a feminine, you are thinking about this person, this feminine energy, and they are thoughtful, or you're trying to consider maybe how to be thoughtful towards them. Okay. If you're a feminine, you're thinking about a masculine, you may want someone to be more thoughtful and considerate towards you. Just take it how it resonates. Okay. Okay. It may even indicate the need for contemplation and meditation. Okay. This is a card that reveals your consideration or your opinion or the thoughts of others. Though it often indicates thinking about love or a person and feeling firmly connected with someone, it seems somewhat platonic in love matters. It also shows your memories and ideas to encourage you to reflect thoroughly and to explore new ideas. Okay, so you have to explore new ideas in a situation, or Spirit is trying to guide you to explore new ideas. You may also be thinking about like family, friends, community, socialization. And there are really no negative cards around the thoughts card. So I don't think your thoughts are negative. I think your thoughts are more contemplative about yourself, another person, or how somebody feels about you or thinks about you. What you think about others. I do feel like you may have some unpleasant thoughts about a certain person. You may be concerned that they have unpleasant thoughts about you. You may need to really think about what it is that you want in a situation. And they said the thoughts are generally positive when not surrounding those other negative cards. So, you may think that someone thinks about you negatively, but they may not. They may think that you think of them negatively, but you actually don't. But the fact is that what you're thinking about and what you're focusing on, who you're thinking about and who you're focusing on, is kind of preoccupying you, and there needs to be like a plan. It feels like there's a lot of daydreaming going on, because for that to come out in that position, that second position of the real situation, it's kind of like bringing some type of thought or idea into reality, exploring a new idea and trying to make it a reality. How can you make your ideas real? You have to come up with a plan in order to bring your manifestations to fruition. And that may be something that is maybe a little challenging for you, or it's something that you don't really want to think about. It may be something that is difficult for you because you may not know what to do or how to do whatever you're trying to do. The main preoccupation is the house. And we'll get to that because it's in position 6, and that's what's helpful. So you are thinking about what's most helpful to you. So I kind of feel like whatever decision Spirit is suggesting you make is the one that you're already kind of contemplating. You're already considering it. You're already thinking about it. It's at the forefront of your mind. But there may just need to be more planning that goes into this. Now, card number 3 is an illusion. The ideas and thoughts you should release and let go. This card shows your illusions and mistakes. So let's go to 35, which talks about 2 years. So over the past 2 years, you may be thinking about mistakes that you made, but they may not be real. Now, the pathway card, as we read recently, says that the significator arrives at a long, rocky forest path. It winds uphill, but the trees seem cool and inviting. The destination can't quite be seen, but it looks like there's a pleasant patch of sun after the climb. Literally, it's all paths, roads, walkways, tracks, and trails. From this, it derives a sense of long races, like marathons or triathlons. It's a long road, so it also represents distance and a good length of time. And we looked up spatially and temporally. This leads to a timing hint of 1 to 2 years. Now, there is a light at the end of the tunnel now. Pathway may announce the overcoming of both distance, temporally and spatially. If you don't try to force the matter, you'll experience continuous development. This card may concern the slow growth of a partnership or long-term planning. Pathway is also a symbol for all roads, streets, and ways, forests, and nature. Okay, so this could be literally the streets and pathways in your community. For example, like I now live in, for the past few years, since I moved the first time, I live in a city now where the roads are horrible. Tear up your car, potholes every fucking where, because they don't care. Because a lot of minorities live here, a lot of black people, okay, a lot of Latinos, okay. What did J-Lo say? I don't want to mess it up, but she was like something. She said something in Spanish about being Latino at the award show. Listen, that's the reality, okay? So it could literally be talking about the past, the roads in your community, your commute, how long it takes you to get somewhere or do something, whether it's when it comes to distance or time, okay? Now, this card means a long road ahead. It is sometimes referred to as 2 years patience. It means a lot needs to be done or something that will take a long time. It can also stand for great physical distance. Behind the significator, it means a long time to go. It can also mean a long time or a couple of years if it's in front of the significator. So this is an illusion. So I feel like the illusion that you are seeing right now, like I said, is that something is going to take a long time, but it's actually not. Or that you're on the wrong path because something is taking a long time, but you're not. You're actually on the right path, and the time that it's taking is more normal than what you think, or it's appropriate for your destiny and the path that you're on. This could be your life path. This could be your destiny, your fate. This could be your spiritual path, your path to healing. Whatever it is, it's a path. So it's either literal or it's figurative. It's either distance, literally, or time. And I just feel like you think that you made a mistake because something is taking longer, but it's not. That's an illusion. I feel like the illusion is that you made a mistake that caused something to take longer, but I don't think you did. I think something is actually going to move more quickly than what you expect, but there's a kind of a cold, hard truth that your thoughts are affecting the rate at which something is able to be done. So I feel like you may be thinking about other people, or you're thinking a lot about your situation. Maybe you have decision fatigue, like I said, or you have like negative thoughts that are popping up in your mind about what it is that you're doing. And Spirit wants you to create more positive thoughts by making a plan that's solid and crossing things off your to-do list. Because I feel like the only reason why you think that something is taking long or that it's going to take long is because you haven't started it yet, or you haven't begun to walk down that path. Okay. I don't think something is going to take that long. I really don't. And I don't think it's bad that it's taking you the time that it's taking you to get wherever it is that you're going. Now, card number 4 is the opportunities that you have. And this card describes your chances and opportunities. So let's go to the main female. So I feel like Spirit wants you to look at the facts of a situation instead of focusing on the illusions. What's true and what's untrue. What's true? What's the truth and what's the lie? Which is actually a reading that I was going to do. Maybe we'll do that next, about what's the truth and what's the lie. Because I was planning on doing, let me see. Y'all be sure to like the video. Like that video. Yeah, where's the truth? Where's the lie? And who's involved? So maybe we'll do that next with just a regular spread. But I wanted to go to the main female and avoid the thoughts card and the pathway card and just kind of gloss over it. But it's like Spirit wants you to pay attention to what you're focusing on and what you're thinking about and how that affects your productivity. They want you to focus on the decision that you need to make without focusing on how long something is going to take or how many mistakes you've made, right? Now, the main female, again, is the opportunity that you have, and it describes the chances or opportunities ahead of you. Now, it says the female significator and likewise co-protagonist. So if this is you or if this is a female in your energy or that is connected to this decision. She's an elegant lady clad in a fine tea dress, edged with lace and beading, properly wearing her pearls in the afternoon. We meet her in her private sitting room. Her red rosebud points upwards to what's on her mind. So that could technically be the house. But anyway, it shows the importance of open, deep, romantic love in her life. There's an opportunity for that. You're not going to be alone forever. And just because you haven't met that person doesn't mean it's not possible. Okay? Anyway. But on her table, we see only white roses, symbols of innocence or hidden love. In an opposite sex reading, she's the partner of card number 1, which is the main male. In a same sex reading, she's the partner of the privileged lady, card number 12. So whether you're gay, straight, LGBTQ+, it's a possibility, bitch, okay? An attractive woman stands in the light of nearby windows holding a red rose. She looks as if she has been lost in a reverie, but is now concerned with the viewer. So she was in her thoughts. This is the card that represents a female querent. In a reading for a man, she's the woman who's important to him. Wow. So if you're a feminine energy, whatever your sexual orientation is, but you consider yourself to be feminine, right? You are important to someone because there is someone here who is thinking about you. And there could be, they could be making a plan with you in mind. But you may not know that. You may not even know this person. It kind of feels like there's this energy. My nose is itching bad. It feels like there's this energy of you being impatient about something or you being discouraged about something, right? So you may believe that something is possible, but you're like, why the fuck is it taking so long? You may also not believe that something is possible, and Spirit is like, hey, it actually is. It's actually not as bad as you think. Okay. And it's not going to take as long as you think, which is kind of what we talked about before. So the opportunity is for you, I feel, to create a situation where your thoughts or your dreams become reality, because he's kind of daydreaming and she's daydreaming. And I'm hearing that song again, Daydream. I fell asleep and met the flowers. Daydream. And she's got flowers. And they talk about innocence. And hidden love. So yeah. I also feel like Spirit wants you to make time for something, because it's kind of like you're thinking about doing something or you're thinking about going somewhere, but you're like, oh, it's going to take too long. I need to do this. It's like you're prioritizing things, and that's not bad. But there's also a need to prioritize where your heart is leading you. Like, just say, for example, if you want to go to a flower garden or you want to go to the park, let's just keep it simple. You want to go to the park, but you feel like you have to focus on important things. Like maybe there's a lot of stuff you got to do around the house, or maybe you have to work or whatever. And you're like, oh, I want to go to the park, but that's going to take too long. Spirit is like, no, it's not. And that's an important part of what we're asking you to do to make your life improved. Okay. Now, card number 5, what you should forget. So what you should forget, this card shows you what you shouldn't rely on. It would be an unreachable goal for now. Okay. So that's right after main female, card number 3. So what's great about the Kipper is that we don't have to wait for the happy ending. So you should forget about the happy ending. You should not rely on having a happy ending or happily ever after fairy tale shit. That matches with the sudden wealth. Like, this could even be that the fairy tale is possible, but you're thinking it's going to take longer or be harder than what it actually is. It's so strange. Okay. But anyway, okay. What's great about the Kipper is that we don't have to wait for the happy ending. This is a positive card depicting the idyllic wedding in a fairy tale country church. It stands not only for a literal wedding when combined with judication, card 30, and lovers, card 15, but any kind of close contractual relationships such as a business partnership or joint venture. It can also stand for an intimate friendship. More abstractly, it can represent any joining of forces. It is time to enter into a new relationship. In private, in your job, or in other social life matters. Okay. Join forces with someone. This is what you should forget. And it's not beneficial to you right now. Okay. Join forces with someone, attract opposites, and find agreements. This card also shows all kinds of contracts. You may not want to sign a contract right now, especially if it's something that somebody is telling you, like, oh, you're going to make so much money, or somebody telling you, oh, it's going to be so great. Like, they're selling you a fairy tale, selling you a dream. It's an unreachable goal, or it's something that's being fabricated. Anyway, the marriage card stands for relationships, bonds, or friendships. It only predicts marriage if nearby cards support this. It's good for relationships when it's ahead of the significator. Behind it, this card can sometimes mean separation if surrounded by negative cards. Okay. There is no significant meaning in the depiction of cherry blossoms other than to suggest a spring wedding, which would have been a popular choice. The Victorian bride could carry an arrangement of edible fresh flowers. Wow, interesting. Okay. Including marigolds as she walks down the aisle. The dill from the bride's bouquet, also known as the herb of lust, was consumed by the bride, the groom, and their wedding guests during the reception, as the herb was meant to increase sexual desire. Okay. Is that it, bitch? Okay. It definitely is. So right now, I don't think you should be thinking about, well, now this could be a specific partnership, alliance, marriage, contract. This could be talking about one that's now gone or that has reached its peak in your life. Why are all 3 of my cats bathing themselves right now? They all licking their ass right now. Well, Snowflake's licking her butt. Pumpkin's licking her belly. Percy's licking his back. That is hilarious. It's bath time. So this could mean a partnership or connection or an alliance, a contract that you had that's no longer existent. It doesn't benefit you to think about it right now. Okay. Or your idyllic fairy tale partnership, alliance, circumstance that would create a partnership or alliance. In the perfect world, that's not good for you to think about right now. I feel like it's supporting untangible things. I feel also that Spirit is saying, while they don't want your head to be in the clouds or up your ass, they're also saying that like what you want is possible if you take actionable steps towards it. But if you're not taking actionable steps towards it and you're just daydreaming about it, it's not benefiting you to daydream about it. Or to wallow in self-pity and say, woe the fuck is me. I'm left out. I'm not a part of anything. When you actually are. I get it, right? Like, I complain and bitch and moan all the time. Okay? But what I try to do is at least do my best at is to continue to show up, right? Fuck over there. I continue to try to show up. And I think that's kind of the message here. It's like, make a decision that supports the dreams that you have, but also allows you to show up for those dreams and actually cultivate them into reality. Now, the number 6 card, which is the house card, which is related to the thoughts card about the facts and what's on your mind most of all, is what's helpful right now and what you should do to reach your goal or to accomplish the best possible result. Okay, so let's go to card number 6. Sorry, not card number 6. It's position number 6. The card number 6 is mature woman, which is interesting. But the 6th position is the house, which is card number 20. Okay. And the significator here has arrived at the fine wrought iron gates of an impressive 5-story Queen Anne mansion, which blazes with gas lights. It is a waning moon. So the energy is dissipating in a waning moon. Waxing moon is the energy is increasing. So it's a waning moon or an eclipse of the sun. Ooh. So what's helpful to you right now is to, I feel like, kind of let the energy dissipate or fizzle out when it comes to things that aren't really working for you, so you can let it go. Like, if Spirit is trying to eclipse something out of your life, if it's helpful for something to be eclipsed out of your life or for it to fizzle away, let it fizzle away. Don't hold on to it unnecessarily. Okay? Again, it is a waning moon or an eclipse of the sun. Question mark. Are we coming for dinner or a ball? The scene is ripe with potential and suspense. Literally, of course, this is a house, home, property, real estate, land dealings, buildings. Abstractly, it represents safety, family, coziness, and security. It is the thing you hold. It's the thing you hold and that holds you. That's confusing. It is the things you hold and that hold you. But are you holding on to something that you don't need to hold on to? That's the question. Conundrums! From this arises the idea of long-term investments of resources and energy. So they're saying that this is helping you to reach your goal is long-term investments of resources and energy. Okay? Creating and cultivating safety and security. Family. Okay? And, connectedly in your home, on your property, in your space, whatever space that is that you have. Now, this card shows your family, neighborhood, house, home, or buildings or real estate. Sorry, y'all. In general, okay? It also stands for stability and security. This might be a secure and safe job or a job with real estate. The house can also indicate a solid, strong, and steady relationship. This could be actual house or apartment, home and security or real estate. This is a lucky card when near the significator, but in the center of a spread, the people who surround it can be dangerous. It's not really in the center, but anyway. The timing is approximately 6 months. Right, so we have 2 years over here, either currently or, in the future or in the past. And then we have 6 months right here. Now, they say that this spread is basically the final result is the result or the outcome for the near future approximately 4 weeks, depending on the situation. So if you make a decision now that cultivates security, stability, coziness, comfort, not just being complacent, but trying to create a better life for yourself, a more stable life for yourself, turning your dreams into reality, doing things that actually knock things off of the to-do list, right? Making decisions now to realize the reality of a situation versus the illusion of a situation. Stop daydreaming about it and get your ass up and do it. If you do that and you make a plan and you focus on the next 6 months, what you want to achieve and the plan that it's going to take for you to get there, this long period of time that you feel like something is going to take is not actually going to take that long. So the thoughts kind of, to me, it's the facts of what you're thinking about when it comes to the decision that you have to make. Only you know what that is. I can't tell you what that is. But it feels like it's directly connected to your job, your income, your career, your business, however you make money, and your personal life when it comes to your family, your friends, your community, where you live, and your relationships or lack thereof, right? I feel like this is a decision that you need to make to have more enrichment in your life. You may have 6 months until your lease is up. You may not have financial issues, but you may be doing well for yourself, or at least decent. And maybe in 6 months, your lease is up at an apartment or a place that you're renting, and you're like, oh, I want to buy a home. And you feel like it's going to take longer. You feel like, oh, I'm going to need all this money to suddenly come in. You know, I won't be able to do this if I don't win the lottery, or it's going to take me a long time if I don't win the lottery or have some miracle happen. But in reality, Spirit is like, no, that's not true. You just have to get your affairs in order, make a plan, stick to it, and then be positive, be more positive about it. That's kind of what it feels like to me. Now, if we go to the next card, which is the sudden wealth, card number 7, that's what is not helpful right now, right? So I feel like Spirit wants you to forget about relationships, love, marriage, sex. Okay, finding a life partner, which is what everybody wants, but it's like, you don't need somebody to do that. All you need is yourself. Yeah, you should have love in your life, but you should have love for yourself first. And it's not necessarily, it's not necessarily what should be your main focus. I don't know, child. Anyway, I like this spread though. I just feel frustrated. This is not helpful right now. This card describes what you should avoid. It might be obstructive in your situation and what does not serve you for card number 7, which is sudden wealth. So let's go ahead and look at that. Now, if you're liking this reading so far, Pisces, because I know that this is not, people like to see card shuffling, okay? It's just a reality. But if you're enjoying the messages that are coming out and the spread that we're using and how it's pointing things out, let me know in the comments that you like it. And also, if there's a specific question that you'd like me to ask using this same spread, I'm going to keep using it if you guys have specific questions. Not about your twin flame coming back. Don't fucking bullshit with me. Don't do that dumbass shit. Because that's the point of this reading. That's the fucking problem, okay? But if you have a serious question about your career, your personal life, don't give me specifics and people's names. But a general question that you feel like you want answered, I'm going to go through the comments and pick out your questions, and I'll do a spread like that. Maybe your question is, how do I make more money? Or where will I be in, I don't know, whatever question you think of, bitch, put it in the comments and I'll do a spread like this again, okay? Pinky promise. Now, sudden wealth says this card shows us a slot machine with all 7s. It's your lucky number. Gold coins spill onto the casino table. This card could mean the lost check that shows up, a monetary gift, a larger than anticipated tax refund, a bingo win. Okay, but remember, this is not helpful. Okay? This is not helpful right now. And what you should avoid, because it doesn't serve you. Okay. If this card is close to the significator, it means a large sum. But if with false person card 8, your luck could turn sour and result in a loss. And watch out for that thief card 24. In a card pair as a description, it can also mean many, much, or more. To counterpoint card 24, thief, which can represent less, few, or fewer. You can feel safe now. Sudden wealth announces success, affluence, gain, or profit in your job. It also shows a secure partnership. You can draw on unlimited sources at the moment, but avoid being wasteful and boastful. Okay? I think that's valid. Okay. But it also, I feel like it also doesn't, when it says that this doesn't help you right now, and they tell you to avoid being wasteful and boastful. I'm not saying you should be wasteful or boastful, but it may help you to be less meek, right? It might help you to be less of a pushover right now. It may help you to stand on business a little bit right now and kind of like be more assertive and confident. Okay. This is money you don't have to work for. All right. So what they're saying is you're going to have to work for it. But if you do, you're going to get what you want. Such as lottery winnings, a bonus, found money, or inheritance. Close to the significator, it's a lot of money. But if it's far away in a large spread, the money is out of reach. When it's not about money, it can describe a nearby card as a lot. So you've dealt with a lot of poverty. Okay. You've dealt with a lot of things that maybe you feel like have taken a long time, or maybe been a mistake when it comes to the amount of time that you invested into it. You may feel like you made a lot of mistakes. There may be a lot of illusions around you in regards to time or distance. I heard vertigo. I don't know if you have vertigo, but I'm not a doctor or lawyer or psychologist. Disclaimer. But wow. So yeah. It's really not in your best interest right now to just think that something is going to fall in your lap without working for it. You have to be confident about it and actually, kind of be a little hard-headed and stubborn about it. And, put the plan forward, because just waiting for something to fall in your lap is doing you a disservice. Now, the final card number 8, is the final result. And the final result or outcome for the near future, approximately 4 weeks, like I said, depending on the situation. Let's look at that. It is 37, which is kind of, I don't know. Anyway, poverty says this is a challenging card. Okay, but we're facing the truth with confidence and bravery. All right, so if you click off, you're reverting back to that weak ass bitch syndrome, and we're not doing that, okay? This is a challenging card. Here we meet a young chimney sweep in ragged, dirty clothes atop a dangerous roof with his mop and broom. In 19th century Britain and Switzerland, abandoned or orphaned boys were purchased for the perilous labor of climbing up inside chimneys to clean out the flammable creosote, sometimes while they were actually on fire. It was essentially a short life of miserable child slavery, a far cry from the sheltered life of the privileged lady. Literally, it stands for grinding monetary circumstances, poverty, or a large monetary loss. Abstractly, it represents lack of control, a bad position, scarcity, both physical and emotional, as well as being down on your luck. Look for nearby positive cards to lighten the burden. Okay. This card is poverty pure and simple. The boy won't be paid a living wage, just a few pennies, and the whole scene suggests danger and vulnerability. Children such as this led brutal lives which were often cut short. This card indicates being unable to meet basic needs. It refers to misery, especially in an uncaring or predatory environment. And the poverty is less promising. It's a less promising card that predicts deprivation and a lack in both material and emotional matters. So again, like I said, career, money, job, profession, and personal life, right? In partnership terms, you may feel defenseless and unloved. Also, in professional terms, you may find yourself in a bottleneck. The best you can hope to gain is to learn from the crisis. So that you're going to learn from the crisis. There's something that's happening possibly in 4 weeks. Okay, time frames, 4 weeks, 6 months, 2 years. Either 2 years in the past, 2 years in the future, suspected, maybe not reality, but concretely 6 months, 4 weeks to 6 months. I feel like there is going to be fucking shit. You are going to have shit, Pisces, if you continue to gamble with your life. If you don't make a plan and you don't decide that today I'm going to be proactive about my life and I'm going to take autonomy back of my life, you will be in a fucked up situation. And maybe that's not what you want to hear, but this is what I would tell my kids if they came to me with a dilemma. This is what my uncle tells me when I'm coming to him with a dilemma. This is why I, sometimes loathe the fact that I felt like I wasn't supported, but I also appreciate the things that I learned and the things that he taught me, even if it was difficult. Because now when I'm in these situations, I'm like a fucking dog with a bone. Y'all see how hard I've been working if you've been paying attention. And I know you guys have been working hard too. I'm not saying that you haven't been putting effort towards your goals, but I feel like you're kind of dilly-dallying along. You're kind of just meandering along this path because you're automatically assuming that it's going to take you longer to accomplish something than what it actually is. Now, again, the cards say, hey, like, if you got to take some time to get your plan together, regroup, rest, rejuvenate your energy, and get back the fuck out there, by all means. But any type of wallowing in self-pity, any type of woe is me attitude, any type of kind of like delusional thinking, and I think that's why the Distant Horizons card did not come out, because what you may be dreaming of with this marriage card or this sudden wealth card, it's not that it's not possible. But it's not possible if you don't put the effort in to make it a reality. That's what Spirit is saying. It's like all of what you dream about can be a reality. But if you do not like actually put the effort into it, you could do it, put your back into it, bitch. If you don't do that, okay, it's going to remain unattainable. And it's going to keep feeling like it's further and further and further and further away. If you close yourself off, possibly even to a person who's really loyal, but that may not necessarily be your ideal image, then that could close doors and possibilities and opportunities for you that may have actually brought you some type of joy, happiness, or fulfillment. Whether it's in your career or in your personal life. If anybody is doing that to you, Spirit is like, hey, fuck them. Like, your life is not going to all of a sudden be beautiful. You have to put in effort towards it. I don't care how much shit that these people be talking on these platforms about visualization and manifestation. Yes, that's part of it. But you actually got to get your motherfucking ass up and get your feet moving. So, I said what the fuck I said. If you have a problem with what I said, then I suggest that you run it back and listen again and really drill it into your mind. Because that's the reality. Like, all of this, like, I love all the spiritual woo-woo shit. Y'all, don't get me wrong. I love the spiritual woo-woo shit. I love it. It's my life's blood. I've been doing this since I was a child. Not reading cards, but like watching woo-woo shit. Cinderella was one of my favorite movies. Aristocats. Loved it. Right? But I also like Pocahontas. And she had to run her ass across that field to save John Smith, right? She had the spirit of Mother Willow, but she also had her own heart and intuition that was guiding her, and she followed it by taking actionable steps. I just heard, listen with your heart. You'll understand. Okay. Now let's just real quick, because I know it's been a while, right? What's the community when it comes to the main situation? 5 of Swords. So you feel like you can't trust people. You feel like you can't trust your neighbors, your friends, your family. You feel like there's nobody you can trust. People have done you dirty. But the Despair card did talk about envy and jealousy. So I got to be real with you. You could be making decisions or struggling to make a decision based off the comparison that you're making from your situation to other people's situation. Or the comparison, maybe it's not about other people. Fine. Because I know a lot of y'all going to be tussling with me. And I'm not about to tussle with you about your own delusions, bitch. But it could also be a situation where some of you are comparing a version of yourself from the past where maybe things were better in your mind, quote unquote. That may not be 100% reality, but it's your perception. But you could be comparing yourself to a version of yourself from the past where you felt more successful to a version of yourself now where you feel like, oh my God, I'm living in this, community. And I used to live in such a nice place. And I get it. And it could be very frustrating. Maybe you made more money. Now you can't spend the same way you used to spend because you don't make that money no more. Like there has to be some concessions that are made. And it's like Spirit is like, hey, we want you to have what you want, but we also want you to realize that the concessions that you make are going to be ultimately to your benefit in the long run. Okay, 3 of Wands and the 6 of Swords. So there's a sacrifice that needs to be made here, but there's also like a reward from the sacrifice, okay? Because 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords, that's Ace of Swords in the middle, right? It's math. The math got to be mathing. You got to balance the checkbook. You can't be overdrawing and shit. We got to figure out how to get this shit in order, okay? I made a sacrifice to have less snacks in the house and less easy meals in the house last month so that I could get meat and replenish my stock of meat in my deep freezer. This month, I got more snacks, seasonings, sauces to cook with. Things that were easier to cook with, right? Sometimes I buy a bunch of water. Sometimes I don't, right? I feel like this is you preparing yourself for what you appear is going to be something difficult when it's actually not. Maybe this is just your personal life, trying to make new friends, trying to get out there and date, whatever this is. You expect for something to be difficult, or you expect to maybe receive some type of pushback, but I don't think you are, because I feel like what everybody kind of wants is for things to be easier. It's like, it feels like right now you've made a decision, or you're leaning more towards one choice than you are the other. But as you prepare to make that choice, or as you're trying to figure out what's the right choice to make, your mind is kind of clouded by what you expect to happen. So it's like if you have 2 options, you're thinking about what you expect to happen in each of those options. So you could be making a decision that's not the best based on what you perceive to expect, when in reality that may not be what you're actually going to get. Like you may see something as being easier, but that's only because you perceive something that's not actually true about the other option. And little do you know, the other option that you think is going to be harder may be the easier one if you're able to change your perspective and your perception of what that is. Because that's what the 3 of Wands is basically saying. It's like you feel like you're going to have to fight. If you are dealing with some chaos, turmoil, or negativity from family, friends, community, coworkers, people around you with that Five of Swords, and you feel like there's somebody who's envious of you or jealous of you, and maybe they've done things to prove that that's true, and you're trying to make a decision about like how you should move. Three of Wands says to wait until Spirit guides you towards the option that you should take. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, and wait until you get the hell yes. But don't just stand there and like halt. You got to keep the engine on, bitch. Even if you are in park or maybe in neutral, you got to keep the engine on so that the car don't need to warm up again. So the momentum needs to keep going in either direction. Shit. But I kind of feel like you're expecting something to be negative and it's not. What's the Five of Swords? The Queen of Pentacles. You just don't want anybody to like get over on you, take what you have, or try to, yeah. Eight of Pentacles, Three of Swords. Some of you are working on forgiving your mother or forgiving your children or forgiving a feminine energy, maybe a sister or a friend or something. Virgo energy, possibly Taurus, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, strong Aquarius, and Aries. I feel like you've been working on something for quite some time, probably like 8 months or so, maybe 8 to 9 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, like I said. But you've been working on something steadily and consistently for a long time because you're trying to reach a goal and you're focused on it. You're trying to avoid distractions. Maybe March was difficult. I know March was kind of difficult for me. I'm going to be honest with you. And there could have been something that you feel disappointed by or you feel like was a lie or something that hurt you, a person who hurt you. The Three of Swords says that there needs to be some type of healing, possibly forgiveness, a change in your perspective to look at something differently. I feel like some of you guys are just in a situation where you work alone because you want to protect what you value, whether that's your peace, your sanity, your sanctity, your home. You work alone and you're very independent. But if you look at it, the Eight of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles is 9 Pentacles. And on the 9 of Pentacles, she's giving 3 Pentacles away. Like she's not giving it away, but she's investing it. And I just talked at the beginning of the reading about giving and receiving. Like she's investing those 3 Pentacles while keeping 6 of them for herself. Right? I just feel like you're worried about somebody trying to take from you or somebody who's, not going to give the same way that you give or invest the same way that you invest or care as much as you care. So it's like you feel like you have to take on everything by yourself. But I feel like that's just kind of weighing you down. I feel like that's creating more of a burden on you. And then that makes you feel alone and look at other situations, other people, or other times in your life where you didn't feel as alone and be a little resentful. I'm just being honest. It's like you feel like you have to protect yourself from something because you've been hurt in the past, but that's not actually like happening right now. And Spirit is trying to bring you to a place of peace about whatever happened in the past that's skewing your vision, or bring you to a place of forgiveness so that you won't be paranoid about it. Maybe there's somebody who you need to talk to and get something cleared up, possibly. Now, the facts, which is the 16 thoughts. What is thoughts? What is thoughts, Spirit? What is thoughts? One more card. Thank you. Oh, I know that's the Empress because she all bent up. Yeah, and it's reversed too. So you're feeling like the fact that you don't have what you need is never going to change. Or you're fighting some type of change that you have to make, possibly to your aesthetic. Like, okay, you may have to buy off-brand, great value, Kroger brand detergent. Bitch, you may not be able to buy the name brands. You may not be able to shop for clothes or have the creature comforts that you've become accustomed to in past times in your life. Okay. There could be somebody around you who is afraid of getting old. I don't know what that's about. But the Empress reversed and the Death card reversed. Somebody could be afraid of death or afraid of change or afraid of getting old. Or there could be a situation that's never going to change because it is what it is. Like, you could be thinking about having children because I'm getting this vibe of the Empress reversed and Death reversed. It's like somebody feels like they're too old to have children or they're unable to have children. Or they don't want children when somebody else does. Or they do, or they do want children when somebody else doesn't. Like, it's something that can't change. Like, once you go through menopause, you can't have a baby. So you could be stressed about how long something is going to take because you feel like your time is running out or you're getting too old for something. But that's not true. And I feel like the more you lament over the fact that you think something is never going to change when it actually possibly could, or the fact that you might be too old when it finally happens, it's like delaying it even more. Okay, the title card and the Seven of Pentacles. This is definitely about time. Figuring out if something is worth it. Evaluating the investment that you've made. Because we talked about that in one of these cards. About making an investment of time, energy, effort. I think it was the Thoughts card. I could be wrong. I feel like there's something represented by this title card that you're focusing on and looking at, represented by this portrait. So the title card and the portrait are the same thing. I don't know what it is, but you're thinking about everything that you've done to invest in whatever this is. And you feel that it's not worth it, or you could possibly feel like because something isn't changing and it's not fruitful or abundant, or it's not growing and it's been kind of stagnant for a while, that it's never going to grow, or it's never going to be fruitful, or it's never going to be abundant. But I don't know. Maybe there's something that I feel like it is going to change. I just feel like you don't think it's going to change. Or there's something that you have to change that you don't want to change. Let's be real. I don't want to stop cursing because it feels inauthentic to who I am. Right? But if I make a plan and a strategy to attack something from a different perspective or a different direction and change my mindset about how I look at it, then it may not be as negative, right? Like, I'm going to drop F-bombs, bitch. Look, right there. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I am. And you know what's interesting? I watched After Sun last night for Love Island, y'all. Any of y'all watching Love Island? And Gabrielle and Soul were on there. And Soul, she said her family, they from Chicago, but I think she lives in like LA. I don't know. She lives somewhere. But she said her mom and her dad are from Chicago, and that girl just was a cussing. She was just a cussing, and I really do feel like it's a Chicago thing, because I know some of y'all are from Chicago, and I just went to go see my dad the other day in the hospital, and my aunt, his sister, was there, just a cussing. I didn't even grow up knowing them, just a cussing. My grandmother, who I did grow up with, Aries, okay, that should tell you everything. She just cussed all the time, didn't give a flim flam. Will cuss you clean out and not give a single fuck. So it's inauthentic to me not to cuss. It feels weird. Okay? But if I'm not going to change that, right? If I feel like that change would be detrimental to my authenticity, then I have to change the way I perceive it, right? If I feel like I don't want to sacrifice my authenticity and my raw personality for the algorithm, then instead of seeing it as being a hindrance, I have to reprogram it in my mind to see it as, hey, whoever's meant to resonate with me is going to resonate with me however the fuck I'm coming, which is what you guys have said and reinforced. And I really appreciate that, because it does eat away at you. Like, and I'm going to tell you this, so, because I know a lot of you guys don't create content, and I'm going to say this because I feel like it may offer some insight. I'm not just trying to talk about me, y'all, but y'all know this is the message. If you don't create content, or you have not been creating content for several years, right? I'm not saying I'm the most seasoned person out here, but I've been out here for at least 6 years now, creating content. I was on Instagram creating content before I even came to YouTube. So I've been creating content for some significant time, right? And I mean, not just my personal photos or personal videos. I was creating videos on Instagram about like my thoughts back in like 2017, 18. And even though it's on different platforms and I've created content through different mediums, when you create content, it fucks with you. It fucks with you because not only are you have your raw creativity, right? But then as soon as you put something out there, it's immediately judged and critiqued. And the algorithm does not deliver your content to the people who most likely watch content like yours first. I don't know fucking why. Maybe they do that for the white people, but they don't do that for the minorities, at least as far as I've seen. It feels like your content is delivered to random ass people, even though you put a title and you put it in a category. It's like the algorithm is testing you. It's like a humiliation ritual, a hazing, some type of fucking weird, fucked up shit. And they put it in front of people who, oh, you'll get comments, but you'll get the worst comments from people. You'll get comments from people who are more hateful towards what you're doing than people who actually support what you're doing. And statistically, in case you weren't aware, a majority of people who support you and consistently watch your content are not going to comment, right? And I know that sounds like, how could that be true? But it's true. 60% of you guys, maybe more, who are watching me or who've watched me for several years, you've even said this, and you're like, well, I never knew how important it was to comment. Or I'm not the type of person to leave a comment, but I want to support you. And I really appreciate you guys, because I know that that's hard, because statistically, you are not the minority. You're the majority. A majority of people who watch you and support you consistently are more so quiet and in the background. Usually the loudest voices are either people who feel more comfortable expressing themselves or the people who are dejectors. And it fucks with you to the point where a creator who I've referenced on this channel before, who I really like to watch, John Solo, I got into his videos when he was making God of War content and mythology. He talks about mythology, and he basically has been having an issue with his speech when he's filming. And he opened up about it recently in his community section and basically told everybody like, hey, I've been avoiding this for as long as I could, but my speech issue is really noticeable in the most recent video. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. And he basically said that for whatever reason, because I thought he had a dental issue or something. I didn't know what the fuck was going on with this man's voice. But basically what he said was that he's been to several doctors. None of them can point to any health reasons why his speech sounds like he had a stroke. And you can go look at it. Look at his old video. Look at his new video. Right? Look at a video from 2 years ago. Look at a video that he just posted. It sounds like he had a stroke or he had like a tooth extraction or something. Right? He's basically saying that there's no medical justification for his slurred speech or his issue pronouncing his words, despite however many doctors he's been to. And they basically told him that it may be something connected to his mental. What he said is that when he records his videos, his speech is slurred and he has an issue with pronunciation. But when he's writing his script for his videos and doing rehearsal for that script, no speech issues. When he talks about other things, to people or has conversations in real life with people, no speech issues. But as soon as he turns on that camera, he sounds like he had a fucking stroke. Now, I know I crash out and I talk shit, but if that doesn't prove to you the real raw reality of content creation and how fucking difficult it is and how much it messes with you and how much you have to like fortify yourself, then I don't know what does. It's not just me overreacting and tripping. I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but a lot of creators that I've been watching recently have kind of been in this mentality where they're a little bit fed up with folks. And there's been some creative ways that creators have been using to tell people in the comments to either be nice or fuck off. I'm just blunt. And what I'm saying is that it kind of feels like there's this aspect of whatever it is that you're doing where your thoughts and your mentality is creating a reality that is based in personal history and experiences and the reference points that you have, but maybe not based in the reality of what spirit wants you to realize about the situation, right? Spirit wants me to realize that I have support and that there are people out there who've been moved and assisted with the work that I do, and that's what's most important and what I should be focusing on. But statistically, because of all of those factors, and because I, as an individual, as a human being, just like any other human being, is more likely to focus on the negative than the positive, it's hard sometimes to actually like register that and see that and know that and feel that, because and I feel like, it's energetic as well. It's a spiritual aspect as well. Because a lot of times the glaring eyes and the evil eyes that we talk about are not going to be people who make themselves known. So it's like, how much do you really factor that in your situation? How much do you really factor in the things that are possible, but maybe not as probable? How do you factor that in and keep a balance on it? And I think the reality of a situation is, for some of you guys, if you don't change something or you don't change the way you think about something, you're not going to get what you want. It's not going to return your investment to you. If you don't let something go, if you don't let it die, or if you don't let a situation be eclipsed out of your life, or a thought process be eclipsed out of your life, then you're right. You're going to prove yourself right. It's going to be the nightmare that you realize. And that we see that with the poverty card. Wow. Okay. We're going there, bitch. We already went there. Okay, so this is an illusion. Ooh. I'm just saying. What's the pathway? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. The ideas and thoughts you should release and let go. This card shows your illusion and mistakes. So some of you feel like, I feel like this is what I said earlier about having more confidence. Okay. The illusion I feel is that something is going to take longer than what it should, or that it's not moving forward. Because it's not moving forward quickly, it's not a part of your destiny, and you lack confidence in it. You're not as assertive about it because you feel like it's not in alignment with you. Something that you feel is either not in alignment with you or not part of your destiny because it's not moving quickly. I also feel like you're being taken out of a comfort zone. And you're afraid because you're being taken out of a comfort zone. And that's depleting your confidence levels because you feel uncomfortable. Maybe it's your living arrangements or the place where you live making you uncomfortable. Your neighborhood, your community making you uncomfortable. You want something to move faster than what it's moving. And the fact that it's not makes you feel like, well, it's just not meant for me, or I'm not supposed to be doing this. But that, I don't know, it feels like that's an illusion. That's the ideas that are illusionary. And thoughts you should release and let go of. Also, running away from an issue. Or that you're unlucky or cursed or something like that. Something is never going to change. You feel like you're moving forward down the, it's like you don't have confidence in the steps that you're taking or the path that you're walking. It feels like, to me, you feel that you made a mistake when it comes to choosing this path and that it's the wrong path. Four of Pentacles and the Temperance card. Yeah, and I feel like it's because of poverty or financial struggles, okay, with the Four of Pentacles. But the Four of Pentacles also talks about holding on to things that Spirit is trying to move you forward from or move you away from. But you're not taking action on it, or yeah, that's what it feels like. You're holding on to the mistakes and the things that you felt like were mistakes or that slowed you down. Now the opportunities, it's like you're not confident that things could change quickly. You feel like something is going to just take a really long time. That's crazy. But things with the Temperance card, things are coming together. Spirit is assisting you when it comes to helping things come together. It's like they've led you down this path. I feel like it is in alignment, but you don't believe it. You've made the mistake of not believing yourself in the past. You're holding on to things that you felt like you did wrong. But in reality, everything that you did led you to this point. And because you feel like you did things wrong, you feel like you're on the wrong path. But in reality, I don't think you did anything wrong. I feel like you followed where you were being led. And this is exactly where Spirit was trying to lead you. It's a part of the journey. And you really didn't make mistakes. You actually did what it is that you were supposed to do. So they want you to be more confident about that. You could also feel ugly for some reason with the Queen of Wands reversed, or exposed, or like made fun of in a way. Something about you being different. I also feel like there's this yearning energy where you could have a mentality where you think the grass is greener on the other side, and it's not. Spirit is saying if you run away because something is not working out the way you want it to, and you're losing confidence, and you try to run away from it because you're thinking about all of the things that you consider mistakes, it's not going to be any better wherever you end up. Like, you have to deal with it right here, right now. Okay. You could be holding on to something that Spirit is trying to remove from your life because you don't think that it's going to be better when you get to the other side, but it actually is. So just take it how it resonates. Now, main female, what is this opportunity for main female? What is this? Okay, it was upright. What's main female? One more card. Ooh, the Ace of Swords was trying to flip in reverse, but it flipped back in the upright. Six of Swords, Ace of Swords. And I said that. So the opportunity is that if you make a sacrifice, you'll have a reward. Okay, you will have a victory. There's an opportunity for clarity here if you begin to remove the distractions, stop paying attention to things that don't matter. Stop focusing on things that are pointless, like mistakes or things you should have done differently and all this other shit. If you focus on creating a strategy and moving forward with that strategy and simultaneously healing the wounds that you feel like have been created from the past and follow the guidance that Spirit is giving you while trying to lead you forward, there is clarity at the other end. There's a victory on the other side. There's peace on the other side. Knight of Cups and the Temperance. Yeah. It's something that doesn't look like it's going to be successful. You feel like something is not going to change or be better, but it actually is with time, though. And like, it feels tedious, to be honest with you. Spirit is trying to help create a situation for you through your own actions and effort that is celebratory, prosperous, positive. There's a harvest to the seeds that you are thinking of planting. There's an opportunity for more balance in your life. But you have to, it's like you have to follow the guidance that they're giving you or the path that they're leading you down. You have to continue to walk the path. Because I feel like you're about to turn back. Don't turn back now. Do not do that. There may be a contract coming towards you as well with the Six of Swords and the main female in relation to this marriage card. I really feel like Spirit is guiding you. You have support around you, even if you don't believe you do. You have support around you. But I also feel like it kind of feels like there's something that you have to do on your own. It's not going to be able to manifest with other people. It's like while you're healing these wounds that you may feel about other people, trying to help you realize that other people aren't always bad, there's still an aspect of this where Spirit is also not wanting you to rely on other people to create the success that you're looking for, because the opportunities stem directly from you and you should be the one pursuing them regardless. That's what it kind of feels like. If you like turn down an offer with the Knight of Cups, like somebody presented some type of offer to you or proposed a plan to you or maybe even proposed marriage to you or something like that, contract with the Ace of Swords and this marriage card being in the position of what you should forget. I don't think you should rely on whatever people are like offering you right now, because it may be too big of a sacrifice. Like it all has to be in moderation. Everything in moderation, including moderation. There could be somebody being sneaky as well and strategizing and plotting on their own time about having some type of victory or success. And using you to do that when it may not benefit you. They may be leaving details out, and you may need to consider the situation more with time, or just reject it and move towards what Spirit is offering you. Because I feel like what Spirit is offering you is more reliable or dependable than what another person is offering you. That's what that feels like to me. If you offered someone the opportunity to possibly work together, you haven't gotten a response back, they haven't communicated anything with you, you're kind of like in the dark, silence, and things like that, I would say give it time, but only give it a certain amount of time before you move forward on your own, right? Like if you gave a person an opportunity to make a decision, or somebody even gave you a time frame, if you're not confident within that time frame about accepting the offer, or they have not responded to you about accepting your offer within the time frame that you have given, maybe like maybe 7 weeks. I don't know. That might be long. It could even be 7 days, child. Air moves quickly. Yeah. Then I feel like you should move forward, or, without that person, or decide maybe to decline the offer. Okay. Now, marriage, what you should forget. This card shows you what you shouldn't rely on. It would be an unreachable goal right now, for now, right? It's not saying that it's not saying that it's unreachable forever. They're saying right now it's unreachable. What's marriage? What is this marriage card? Bitch. What is the marriage card? One more. Okay. Is there another card? Oh, yeah, I knew it. It's a past contract, job, marriage, somebody who's supposed... King of Wands reverse, Queen of Wands reverse. Come on now. Come on now. You're not too late. You're not too late. You're not too late. Somebody, whoever the fuck this is who threw off your energy, who was supposed to protect you but didn't, who maybe you had kids with, were married to, a safe option, or maybe a job that you thought was going to be safe and secure but turned out it wasn't, right? That's in the past. It's not important. You should forget it. The memory of somebody fucked up with this King of Wands reversed, that put you in a dangerous or precarious position or situation. Page of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles. This even could be somebody from your past coming back. You need to forget that shit. I don't know how many times I have to tell y'all hard-headed motherfucking Pisces. And y'all be like, oh, I'm not thinking about that motherfucker. The cards don't lie, bitch. What is it that you're still holding on to about that situation? Is it a car? Is it somebody who you feel like took your freedom? Is it somebody who owe you money? You don't need whatever they owe you or whatever they took from you back in order to move forward. It's about you. You have a victory by moving forward, not dwelling on the fact that it's hard to move forward because of what they took from you. Because that's the thing. Poverty, Five of Pentacles. Six Pentacles. waiting on somebody to help you. I don't know what it is, but it feels like somebody from the past who you have kids with, who you feel like created a situation of either financial insecurity or physical insecurity in your life. You got to forget it. It's not helpful to you. Okay? Whatever it is that you feel like they owe you or that was taken from you that you want back, it's not possible right now. You're not going to get it back from that person. What you're going to do, is get it back from the moving forward. Oh, if only they were doing this, then I could do this. If only they were doing this, then I could do that. No. See what I'm saying? Six of Pentacles. Prioritize what you can do at this moment. And that's what's important. Now, card number 6. This is helpful now. What you should do to reach your goal to accomplish the best possible result. What's the house card? Number 20. Ooh, 8 of Pentacles and Justice reversed. Wow. Okay. You gotta work on, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. Nothing is gonna just magically fall in your lap. That's the problem. Y'all feel like something is magically, you feel like magic is gonna bring something to your doorstep. It's not. Magic is it's a supplement, I guess, but it's not the end all be all. That's why I'm not as woo-woo as I started. That's why I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass, because that just creates gaseous particles. You're just going to be flatulent. You're going to be farting. The more smoke gets blown up your ass, you're going to be constipated, flatulent, and stinking. And sometimes in the spiritual community, they are blowing smoke up your motherfucking ass because that's how they pay their bills. Wake up. Wake up. If you think something isn't fair when it comes to working on something or having to devote time to something, that's your downfall. Because if you're thinking about the fact that something will never change, and no matter how much you put into it, you'll never get anything back from it because you feel like you haven't gotten anything back from it, that's probably why you feel like it's unfair to have to keep working. But if you were thinking about being at the 7 of Pentacles and here you're kind of focusing on being at the 8 of Pentacles, that's good. But you have to create that firm foundation. Queen of Swords. Maybe you don't like your schedule at work. But I feel like this is what you know, right? So I'm not going to chew you out that much. I know I chewed you out, right? But what I do feel, which is positive, is that with the house card being in the position of what's helpful to you and what you should do to reach your goals or to accomplish your best possible result, what you should be focusing on. I feel like with the Queen of Swords coming out with that, it's like you see clearly that something wasn't working out in your best interest or something felt unfair because you were focusing on the illusion. It's like you're starting to realize that now when it comes to maybe your living arrangement, your neighborhood, your home, what you considered to create security and stability but may not have actually created security and stability in reality. I kind of want to see what the Justice reverse is specifically. What's the Justice reverse specifically, Spirit? Yeah, not getting what you want. Feel like it's unfair that you're not getting what you want. Even though you're working, even though you feel like you're putting in the effort. You got to keep putting in the effort. I'm not trying to be a bitch. I'm being honest with you. I'm not trying to be a bitch. Ace of Cups, Page of Cups. You see what I'm saying? You have to make it real. Remember when Future said that? What did he say? Dress it up and make it real for me? Dirty soda in the styrofoam. Then the day to get my mind blown. Then nothing going down on. That was good, Future. I like that, Future. I can't remember what that song is called, though. That's crazy. We Pisces, we've been being some spoiled brats. Let's just be real. We all been being some fucking spoiled brats. We all been complaining and being some spoiled brats about shit that we could easily change, but that we don't want to. And we have not admitted it to ourselves. And you could be like, okay, bitch, speak for yourself. Fine. But I feel like you know that you're very blessed in your life, even though you feel like there are things that are not fair. I feel like you know that you can make your dreams a reality. But like I said in the beginning, the hill that you're climbing, the way you feel about the hill that you're climbing feels like it's impossible. And I think Spirit really just wants to knock that out of your fucking mind. Now, this is not helpful right now, which is card number 7, which is the sudden wealth. Why is sudden wealth not helpful right now, Spirit? Two of Cups. Interesting. Nine of Wands. Six of Pentacles. So you're communicating with somebody. There's a conversation you're having or people who you're meeting that either are talking about like get rich quick schemes. Those fucking DraftKings and Kalshi ads, online poly market shit. Like, it feels like that. It feels like you're either meeting a bunch of people who make money doing this, right? Or you're talking to people who talk about like sudden wealth or gambling, and don't pay attention to that shit. There's also an energy here of being exhausted when it comes to hearing someone talk about what they're going to give you or what you're going to receive. Okay, like how the readings sometimes are like, oh my God, you're going to receive this sudden wealth, this windfall. And I try to be as realistic as possible. I also want to be positive, right? I want to be balanced. I want to have optimism, positivity, and I also want to have a sense of logic and realism. Pragmatic. Okay? But I think there's an overflow in society right now that's affecting you about either gambling specifically, which is true, or striking gold, being lucky. When in reality, you have to prioritize and create balance. You have to prioritize budgets, strategies, plans, savings, healthy sacrifice in order to get that reward. It's not just going to fall into your lap. You may be listening to people who promise success if you buy their course. Like shit like that is irritating the fuck out of you. And it's not beneficial. It's not helpful. You should avoid people who speak like this. People who you meet who act like this, that try to get rich quick schemes and shit. One more card with the Two of Cups and sudden wealth. Yeah, Eight of Cups. Detach also from what people say in conversations when it comes to communicating. who are delusional. People who are fucking delusional. Because that's 10 cups. I also feel like when it comes to what you should be focusing on with this house card, Spirit wants you to protect your security and stability, possibly even your home, from people who are either very negative about your creativity or your ideas, or they feel like it's not going to work, or people who possibly you can see that they're delusional about things, or maybe even comparing themselves to you, or counting your pockets when they don't know what's really, because people count my pockets all the time. They see the views on the videos and they're like, why is this bitch asking for donations? She got thousands of views. That's why you shouldn't be counting my pockets, because you don't know what the fuck is going on. Everybody on this platform gets paid a different rate, which is crazy. So, you know what I mean? You should not do that to others, and you shouldn't have people around you who are doing it to you, trying to come up off you, because of that. 6 of Pentacles again. Yeah, I also feel like anybody making promises to you about what you're going to receive or what you're going to get in a situation, it's like being emotionally detached from maybe what you're going to get out of something and just focusing on like the joy of creativity. That's what that kind of feels like. If something feels inauthentic to you as well, you're tired of the fake shit. That's what I feel from that. I also just want to see what this despair card is. Real quick, Spirit. One card for despair. Y'all be sure to like the video, you guys. 4 of Pentacles, see? And that came out with the Chariot. You're holding on to some type of rejection, or maybe even termination, getting fired, losing a job, having some type of failure or disappointment. Hermit. And the 7 of Cups. That's what it is. It's so crazy. It's like that the things that you've been thinking about aren't necessarily all real. Like there's a lot of things that may be illusions. It's like there are a lot of lies, possibly even too, that you've been told. You may feel like your family or community or maybe even your government lied to you about, oh, you can work hard, and if you work hard, you're gonna get this. But you're like, oh, bitch, you lied. Because now look at us all poor as fuck, right? Your family said, all you got to do is get a good government job, get a good job with the city, get a good job with the county. And you feel like they lied to you. You're just tired of fucking bullshit. You're tired of people telling you what you should do or how you should try to go about it, because you've been doing all those things and it hasn't been working. So I feel like with the Star card coming out with the 8 of Cups, it's time to walk away from all those things and do what you feel like is right for you. Because with the Hermit card, you've gone on a journey to discover like what's within yourself, the valuable parts of yourself and what you know to be valuable. But I feel like you're having to make a choice about how you want to moving forward. And I feel like it should be as authentically and optimistically as possible, while also cultivating plans that help you create a strategy for the future so that you can just easily cross things off the list and do what it is that you need to do. not just dreaming about it. Because you feel rejected by something. You've learned a lot, though. Spirit wants you to hold on to the things that you've learned and make a choice to move forward, valuing yourself in a more positive way. What's the poverty card for the final result? Ooh, bitch. The King of Swords reversed and the Fool reversed. Ooh. I immediately got the message that it would be foolish of you not to speak up to someone or speak up for yourself in the near future. Don't take foolish risks as well. Thinking that you know the outcome is going to be a certain way, or counting your eggs before they hatch type of situation, spending your money before you get it. The Magician and the Nine of Pentacles. Somebody is trying... I feel like there's somebody here who's trying to manipulate you into making a mistake, either by holding back communication or lying to you about something, or telling you something that they say, they telling you that they're like, oh, Pisces, I know that this is true. I know that this is true, but it's either a blatant lie or they're ignorant, which means they don't know what the fuck is actually going on, but they're trying to convince you that they know what's going on. I think somebody could also be trying to manipulate you or bully you into not taking a risk or not having a new beginning, not taking a leap of faith and trusting yourself. Like, if this is a parent or somebody from your past that constantly criticizes you or critiques you on the decisions that you made or mistake. Oh, don't forget you fucked up and did this before. And it's just like, that's what's going to create the issue. I also feel like you using your powers of manifestation as the Magician, following your destiny as above, so below, bringing your thoughts into reality, bringing your dreams down to reality with a strategy and a plan that you can cross things off the list as you accomplish them, is helping your power be stronger. Choosing to focus on the positive instead of the negative is helping your power be stronger. Choosing to remove all the things that Spirit has guided you throughout this reading to remove is helping you be more powerful and stronger, which is going to ultimately cause somebody else to make a foolish decision and fuck up, which is going to lead you to being at that Nine of Pentacles that we started with. Wow. Ooh, wow. Wow. That's a lot. I hope this helped you figure out what decision you should make. Because that was my ultimate goal, is to help you understand the right path to take. Y'all, again, be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what other questions you'd like to ask using this spread. Definitely be down for it because I love the Kipper. Told you it was going to be a lot of reading, but I felt like we got into some interesting things. This could even be about like your weight or your physical appearance as well. I think it all ties in together when it comes to self-confidence and your self-worth. What decision should Pisces make, Spirit? Any other information about the decision that Pisces should make? I knew all those cards were going to come out. So Keys on the Ring came out first. And it says many options, unconventional, one-night stand, string along. So don't let nobody fucking string you along. Don't let nobody use you as an option. Don't do no fucking one-night stands. And it's like, make a decision. Anyway. Don't let somebody leave you dangling and hanging there. Now, Healing Heart says, healing heartbreak, toxicity or addiction, abusive relationship. Then we have abundance. Positive mindset, manifest, gratitude, bliss, blessings. Okay. Along with love, unconditional love, self-love, wholeness, affection and attraction, selflessness. Giving and receiving, right? There's abundance in approaching a situation with love or loving yourself, to be honest with you. And then the final, oh my God, Percy, here you go with that coffin shit. Oh my God. Mirroring each other, self-reflection, introspection, inner wounds, and butterfly, evolving in growth, next phase, healing inner child, releasing the past, right? I also feel like if your past relationships have been disappointing, it's because somebody, I feel like, was trying to torture you and manipulate you into thinking that you have to do everything by yourself. But sometimes you need others. Even if they didn't manipulate you or do things harmfully to you, your upbringing and how you were raised maybe made you feel like you had to be independent and do everything on your own. Cutting out separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment. Ooh. And addiction, codependent, obsession and restraint, possession and control, emotional block. So Spirit is telling you to cut down or cut out, separate yourself from, stop the pattern, or give the silent treatment to somebody who I feel like either says stupid shit or makes foolish decisions or tries to influence you to make foolish decisions or do dumb things. This could be a friend who's a bad influence. Somebody could be dealing with addiction, because we have addiction out here on the healing heart card. I feel like Spirit, the decision that they want you to make has to do with healing yourself, healing your heart from things that broke your heart in relation to people treating you as an option, or in relation to you feeling like you don't have any options and you're forced to make a decision. You're backed into a corner, or you're not appreciated by others. That's the first thing. And I get it, because it's hard. It's like, you didn't ask to be treated that way, you know? Like, you didn't ask to be discarded, or, you know, I almost heard put up for adoption, or I don't know. You weren't asking to be mistreated. You didn't ask to be born into poverty, or you didn't ask to, you know, be born into an abusive family dynamic, or, you know, have fucked up situations happen. You didn't ask for your marriage to fail and or for you to lose a good job. It's like you set out on those paths trying to do the right thing, and that's what Spirit is saying you did. That's why you have to heal yourself, because you didn't do anything necessarily wrong. I mean, there may be things that you need to take accountability for introspectively, individually, decision by decision or situation by situation, but overall, that's what all this stuff that happened is what you were supposed to do. What's keys on a ring and string along and healing heart? Sorry. Nine of Swords reverse. Yeah. You're afraid to get out there because you're afraid to get hurt again. And you're trying to protect your heart. You are valuable, though. That's being confirmed. And Spirit wants you to act as such by experiencing life, or kind of like not overreacting when it comes to your emotions. And I don't like using the word overreacting, because I don't think you're overreacting, but it's like, they don't want you to make a mountain out of this molehill. It's not that serious. Just try it, do it, bop it, twist it, pull it. Okay, what's abundance and love? Yeah, 4 of Wands. I feel like love and abundance is possible in all aspects of your life. When it comes to accomplishing your goals, maybe having a relationship, one day getting married, maybe being in love even if you're not married, like having somebody who's really there for you. You can manifest these opportunities because of you, because of the sacrifice that you make. Two of Swords. Yeah, but you don't see it as possible because of this Five of Swords. Some of you may feel like it's a race issue. Or a religious issue, right? Like your demographics, your community, your ethnicity, your religion. Yeah. Maybe you don't want a relationship, but they're saying like, you might want to, I don't know, you don't have to have a relationship, but you may want to reconsider relationships in general in your life when it comes to like your personal connections with people, because you need somebody. At some point, you're going to need somebody or whatever. I'm not about to convince you of shit that you don't want to listen to, because some of y'all are hard-headed about that. You're like, I don't want love. I don't need anyone. I need spirit. I need myself. I don't need another person. Fine. Word it however the fuck you want to word it. But you can't walk through life alone. It's not humanly possible. I'm not about to argue with hard-headed ass bitches. Anyway, you get mad if you want. I don't give a fuck. What's Mirror and Butterfly? Interesting. The Emperor and the Seven of Wands. I feel like you're defending your position here with the Emperor and the Seven of Wands, like trying to protect yourself. Protecting your position, not wanting to lose your power in a situation. So you're experiencing similar energies to another person or mirroring another person. But it's reflecting your wounds. You have to self-reflect and be introspective, because your inner wounds are reflecting out. Kind of pushing things away, pushing the energy that I feel like truly desire away. Because I feel this tug of war going on. The Moon. Page of Wands again. You're afraid of things being out of your control. Your fear of not being able to control situations is preventing you from evolving. Anyway. I love you guys, I do. And I'm not saying that I don't suffer from the same afflictions. But you can't have this desire for whatever this is, or this heavy focus on marriage or a contract or whatever this was, and then say, oh, you don't want that. You don't want what you had. You don't want a repeat of what you had. You don't want to deal with this King of Wands, King of Swords reversed. That's what you don't want. It's not that you don't want the love or the connection of good friends, family, and relationships in your life. It's not that you don't want that. You just don't want that motherfucker or people like them. And that's why Spirit is saying you have to heal so that you can discern the difference, so that you can finally realize the difference. They want you to be able to see the difference between not wanting a particular experience to repeat itself and not wanting love, period, because it's different. The way that you've defined love, or the way that love has been defined prior in your life, per your last email, per my last email, is not the way that it's not the way that it actually is. It's not the full picture of what it actually is. Because you're focusing on all of the bad things that have happened that prevent you from moving forward without being able to see the possibility of necessarily the good things that could happen if you continue to put in the effort. If you're thinking about trying one more time to talk to somebody or communicate with somebody or to go out there and meet somebody and all of a sudden it be good and it just falls in your lap like these stupid ass fucking TV shows and movies that we have going on, it's not true. You have to work at it, right? Like if you just want a relationship to be perfect because it's perfect, it's not going to happen. You have to work at it. If you want your business to be successful or your career to be successful, it's not just going to happen. You have to put work into it. It's not a fucking fairy tale all the time. It's not going to be, rainbows and sunshine all the time. I feel like you guys are thinking that something, if you work on it and you do your best, that it's just automatically going to be perfect. And I'm not saying that hard work is not going to pay off. What I'm saying is that's not always the case. Sometimes you have ups and downs. Like right now, I've gone through like 2 years of shit revenue on this platform. Shit. To the point where I'm almost in poverty myself. Well, I mean, bitch. To the point where I could have been on the street. But now it looks like things are getting a little bit more positive. I'm trying to find the rhythm. I'm trying to find the flow. I'm trying to find the strategy that works the best. And I didn't give up. I might have complained. Yeah, I'll give you that. I complained a lot. I was talking hella shit. Bitching and moaning every day. But one thing I did not do is just completely stop showing up. And I'll be good and goddamned if these raggedy ass people who are in positions of power who create these weird dynamics for us and torture us half the time to harvest our energy, I'll be good and goddamned if them motherfuckers think they're gonna beat me. Fuck them. And how do you do that? How do you say fuck them with your actions? Is by getting the fuck up and realizing that things are just not going to be perfect and fall in your lap. That you are going to have to grind, and it is going to be tedious. It's going to torture you. But I'd rather be tortured by the grind of trying to realize my dreams than be tortured by a crusty, pasty-faced ass old motherfucker with a shriveled up raisin dick who thinks that they can control me and harvest my energy, bitch. I'll be damned. If you want to live that life, that's on you. But I for one, am not going to do that shit. What's the advice? Manifest. I have everything I need. The angels remind you that by filling your subconscious with thoughts and images of what you really want, and by speaking positively about these things, you will bring them into your real life and manifest your yes. So, but that's only half the battle, baby. Let's be real. You got to get your ass up and motherfucking move. Flow. Things happen when they are supposed to. This is a reminder from the angels to trust in the flow of the universe and to always follow your intuition when making decisions. With positive changes and opportunities on the horizon, okay? Now is a great time for you to take action and move forward in your life. That means take action when spirit and your intuition dictates by giving you the go ahead. Now, joy. Isn't that anyway, when I feel happy, I manifest more reasons to be happy. This angel reminds you that when we choose happy thoughts and set intentions to live joyfully, we are setting ourselves up for success and contentment in all areas of our lives. I said what I said. If you're not scary, book your personal reading. I'll be working on them. They are $33.33 for a Divine Angel 33 reading to see what your angels have to say for you. Also, if you guys want to donate or contribute, PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle is the best way to do so to ensure that your donation gets to me and helps the channel. Okay, y'all be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Like and follow me to continue to catch the tea, and by tea with me information, because I am your spiritual big sis. I ain't your mama. And with everything I said in this reading, I can't tell you what to do. I can't make you do anything. Your mama and daddy probably couldn't make you do anything, but you have the ability to have control over your life by allowing yourself to experience life. And that's all I want for us. I just want us to be happy. And even though it may be a little bit abrasive when it comes to my approach, that is the goal, is for you to understand the choices that you need to make and the things that you need to do in order to have the most conducive experience in this lifetime for your joy, your prosperity, and your happiness. Anyway, you guys, let me know in the comments what other questions you want me to ask with this type of spread. If you like this reading, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time, Pisces. Remember, this is our circle, booze. Bye.